So far, these are all the index laws that we learned about in the previous videos. Today on MathBase, we'll be going over these questions and getting a simplified answer by combining these index laws together in a particular sequence. For our first question, we can see that these two terms are multiplying each other, but they are inside this factored power of 2. So the first thing we need to do is take that 2 and multiply each of these powers according to one of the index laws. So this will become a to the power of 5 times 2 times b to the power of 4 times 2. From here, we basically just simplify and put it all together again. And so a will be to the power of 10 times b to the power of 8. And since they are multiplying each other, you can write the terms immediately next to each other. And that's the answer. For our next question, a to the power of 4 times b to the power of 3 is multiplying a squared times b to the power of 5. There's no factored power here like this power of 2. And so everything is just multiplying each other, which means we can rearrange this so that these terms multiply each other and the b terms multiply each other. So you want to group them according to those, which means we have a to the power of 4 times a squared times b to the power of 3 times b to the power of 5. And this would simplify according to an index law where the same basis means that the powers add, and so a is to the power of 4 plus 2, and b is to the power of 3 plus 5. These will simplify to a to the power of 6 times b to the power of 8, and seeing that it's just two simple terms multiplying each other, we can write them side by side again. So our next question involves division. A squared times b to the power of 4 divided by b squared times a to the power of 5. So this can be simplified based on the terms because everything is either multiplying or dividing each other. So we can say a squared over a5 times b to the power of 4 over b squared, and then do division for your index law. Since these are dividing, the powers will minus. So a is to the power of 2 minus 5 times b to the power of 4 minus 2. This simplifies to a to the power of negative 3 and b to the power of 2. And this is using a different index law where when you have a negative power, it means you're actually dividing this term. And so that's 1 over a cubed times b squared, which simplifies as a single fraction of b squared over a cubed. We can see that a is bigger underneath, which leads to why the a is still under at the end in the answer, and b is bigger on top, and so we still see that in the answer, which means there's an alternative way to do this. We can apply this to a slightly different question, where we have 3 terms and many different powers, but using the shortcut we can see that a is bigger on top with a difference of 2, and so we would say a to the power of 2 on top, while b has a difference of 9 in the power, and it's bigger underneath, so it'll be b to the power of 9 underneath, and c is bigger underneath with the difference of 1, so that's c to the power of 1. And that would simplify to a squared over b to the power of 9 times c. And it is recommended to leave the 1 here when you're doing calculations, just in case you need to use that for something still. If there's nothing left to do, then you can drop it and keep it nice and clean. Now let's look at the last 2 questions, which involve surds. First thing you'll notice is that these are trapped inside a couple of surds. You can think of those as if they're factor powers. So the a's cannot talk to each other yet, and neither can the b's, until we deal with those surds. So rewrite the surds according to the index law of how it's actually just a fraction power or a rational index. So we have a squared b cubed inside the power of 1 on 2 because that is a square root, right? Technically there's a 2 there and there's a 2 there for the surds. And this will divide by b times a to the power of 3 to the power of half. And since they are dividing, we could write it as a fraction. A squared b cubed all to the power of half over b times a cubed to the power of half. And now we just need to put in the factor power by multiplying, and so that'll be a squared times half times b to the power of 3 times half, and that divides by b times a to the power of 3 times half as well, which simplifies to a to the power of 1 times b to the power of 3 on 2, all on b times a to the power of 3 on 2. And now we're back to what we had in the previous question where everything is simply multiplying or dividing each other. And the sequence doesn't really matter because you can just group them up accordingly. And so we have a to the power of 1 divided by a to the power of 3 on 2 times b to the power of 3 on 2 over b to the power of 1. And the difference for a is 1 on 2, being that the one underneath is bigger. So we can say 1 over a 1 on 2 times b. b is bigger on top with the difference of 1 on 2 because 3 on 2 minus 1 is just 1 on 2. So that's going to be b to the power of 1 on 2. And that would simplify together as this. And we could group that into a single power of half as well, using one of the index laws, which can then be simplified as square root b over a. This would be the cleanest way to write it. Okay, so for this last one, it's a similar issue, where we have all these factor powers outside, which are not letting these two a terms talk to each other yet. So let's deal with those factors first. This is a cube root, and so a squared is inside a power of 1/3, which is actually inside 5 on 2. So they're technically just multiplying each other. And it's something similar with the second term, where a cubed is inside a square root, so that's a power of half, and that's inside 1/3, so that is multiplying a third. Technically, you could just take 1/3 times a half times 3, but you can do it in 2 stages if you like as well. And so this will be a squared all to the power of 5 on 6. That multiplies a cubed all to the power of 1 on 6. This would then simplify to a to the power of 10 on 6 times a to the power of 3 on 6. Now, normally I would have just simplified the 5 on 6 with a 2, or even like just reduce these fractions here, but seeing that the next step will involve adding these powers, it is sometimes useful to look ahead for this sort of thing, and so it's much easier to add when they have the same denominator. So we have a to the power of 10 on 6 plus 3 on 6, which becomes a to the power of 13 on 6, proving that there was no reason to try and simplify it in the first place, since this was just going to be on 6. And you could rewrite this as a 6th root of a to the power of 13, but I think for the purpose of simplifying, this index form is usually more preferred compared to this cert form. But if they do ask for a specific cert form, then this would be it. Okay, so I hope that all made sense to you guys. If you found this helpful, then please leave a like for the video so that YouTube will recommend this to other people who are looking to learn about how to combine index laws together. Let me know what you think down in the comments below if you have found this really helpful for a particular question. You can join the channel by clicking the subscribe button and ring the bell so that you get notified about when the next video comes out. Thanks so much for watching, guys. Have a good one, and I'll see you next time.